Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Some adventures are too good to experience just once. Here's Mike with a look back on one of our favorite adventures.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. We'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in just a few minutes from now. I'll tell you what, we're starting this week's show off right with a little bit of opening day wing shooting. Yeah, it's the start of the mourning dove season here in Delaware, also down in Maryland, and I'm very lucky to be joining a great group of hunters just outside the town of Lewis. Great spot, wide open fields with some sunflower patches that these migrating birds love to stop by and feed in.
Hey guys, thanks for coming. We are going to shoot Bill's field this year because mine does not have birds.
4 years now, a little dove hunting tradition has put this part of Sussex County on the map, you could say. Because for dozens of hunters, all family and friends, it's an opening day event they wouldn't miss.
Thanks for coming. It's the opening day, the breeding season's over. That's typically during the early part of the summer. They are basically migrating. So they come together in certain spots as they move down the coast, moving away from the cold weather. They stay ahead of the game, and so this is our migration coming through here.
After a short briefing and a convoy from the hunting club home base, these anxious wing shooters are headed to a spacious private field on the other side of Lewis, known as the Showfield property, and always known to hold plenty of migrating doves.
We've been doing this for probably 10 or 15 years, shooting these birds over sunflowers, and they really like to come to them, and they just kind of swarm around, and it makes for a good shoot.
With opening day on a Thursday, it's been less than a week since Hurricane Irene passed through these parts. And just like other migrating birds, doves have been known to just disappear in the aftermath of bad weather. But here, the only forecast was for raining shotgun shells. Now, I won't try to make too many excuses for myself.
You get that.
But after a spring and summer of filming more fishing adventures than I can even keep track of, from big white marlin to tuna to largemouth bass.
Ain't big enough.
Well, let's just say the transition back to hunting includes knocking off a little rust. Both with the camera, I don't even know what happened there. I guess you tend to hit the wrong button when you're trying not to get shot. And the shooting? Well, let's just say my own shot to dove ratio was pretty lopsided. Luckily, that rust would wear off quick, and my fellow hunters, scattered around the perimeter of the field, would deliver with an impressive display.
It's beautiful. It's got a nice row of sunflowers here, so we can shoot the birds over them, and we got a nice wide swath here to pick them up, and they're all driving towards the pond and towards that grove of trees.
In a field like this, where hunters use a 360-degree shooting lane, a camera guy can get in the way. So strapping our Outdoors Delmarva Viewer Venture head cam on Donald here was a great way to get out of the way and see some hunting from the gunner's perspective.
Oh yeah, it was one. I was like 10 for 10 after that. The camera running, you'll see if I was 10 for 10 or not. It was an unbelievable day. It was a good day. The birds were steady coming in, steady flying. There was good shooting and good time and real good food.
In Delaware, the daily dove limit is 15 per hunter this time of year. But this group of guys is a little old school and tends to go conservative, taking no more than 12 per man. And after about 3 hours of solid shooting, there were plenty of birds in the bag.
6, 7, 8.
Oh, it was great fun. Great hunt, great guys to hunt with, and a good lunch.
For an opening day that could have been wiped off the map with hurricane force, the end result was a storm of its own. And the season is still young.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Still to come on the best of Outdoors Delmarva, more of our favorite adventures. But first, did you know? Bluefish are aggressive feeders known to frenzy around schools of baitfish. And if you can find a frenzy, blues are pretty easy to catch. We'll show you one method for locating feeding blues when we come back.
This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, and Shooter's Choice. The best of Outdoors Delmarva. We'll be right back.
Good job.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
All right, let's put him back. Here. Did you know? All right, we kind of found ourselves in a situation right now where we're gonna commit to a lifestyle, make or break our day, because what we're doing is running and gunning. We got birds out here, and what we're doing is we're following the birds who we think are following the bluefish. What's that, Mike? That's a good one. That's it. Yeah. That's how you do it, man.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. You're watching the best of Outdoors Delmarva. Here's Captain Willie with a look back at one of our most exciting adventures.
Adventure surrounds us everywhere here on Delmarva, and as one group of youngsters recently found out, the only limit is your imagination.
What are we looking for today, pirates?
Treasure! Treasure!
I can't hear you. Oh, that's good. If we're looking for treasure, there's usually a bad pirate. So we're gonna have to sneak on the boat so he won't see us coming. Who knows how to be sneaky?
Me! You!
Everybody.
Me.
Come on, mates!
And with that rallying cry, this group of pint-sized scallywags stole aboard the Sea Gypsy in Lewis Harbor this fine summer day, intoxicated by the lure of treasure and adventure.
Little scallywags, what are we looking for today? All right, we need a what? We need a
map.
Smart as paint.
Reviewing the maps at the map station will reveal landmarks the young buccaneers will find on their way to the treasure. But it soon becomes apparent that the captain is heading in the wrong direction.
You know, I'm told it's a big red boat with white letters across it that says overfalls. Like that one over there.
I'm not gonna turn around, no way, no how,
The motley crew threatens the unthinkable.
Real loud! Real loud!
I'll turn around for a mutiny.
And after the course correction, the journey is back on track.
Find it yet?
Every landmark reached brings the scurvy dogs closer to their quest, and anyone standing in their way are sure to receive 18 inches of cold, hard, molded plastic. And just to be sure, the battle flag is raised.
Can you pirates be loud?
And just then, could it be? Surely it can. But it is. It be the dreaded Pirate Pete.
You think you can take the treasure from the great Pirate Pete?
Port side!
With Pirate Pete soaked to the gills by a few hundred gallons from the ably manned water cannons, the treasure nears closer until finally...
Pete! No, not on the treasure! I hope it's something, they say. I hope it's something, too. Up front, Pirates! Go front!
And it's time to divvy up the plunder.
There you be, mate.
Here you go, mate. Go see the front.
A few of the hearty crew are even rewarded by the brave Captain Barry.
I have to reward you for meritorious service, bravery under fire, and heroism beyond belief. We raised the battle flag and saved the gold. Let's hear it for Riley.
Their quest fulfilled, the young bucks scan the shores for wildlife.
Those are the rare Cape Henlopen albino monkey deer. That's right.
You scurvy rat!
Shiver me timbers, it's the Scourge Pirate Pete again. But this time he's so thoroughly defeated that he has no choice but to surrender completely and make allies of the crew.
How about you, mate? You want one? Come on, mate. Come on over here, mate. Come on. Don't be shy. Come to the rail and let it fly.
Their journey at an end, this happy crew can now get into further mischief ashore, and tonight will no doubt dream about what future adventures lie ahead.
Give me some time to blow the man down.
That looks like a lot of fun. Now, to learn more and to book your own pirate cruise, head to outdoorsdelmarva.com.
Some adventures are too good to experience just once. This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Some adventures are too good to experience just once. This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, coming to you from where I can only describe as a back road somewhere in the greater Millsboro, Delaware area here in Sussex County. Yeah, we've been driving around tonight. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to find the darkest possible spot. And that's because we are hunting. No, not wildlife. We're hunting stars, and more specifically, a meteor shower, the quadrantids that we're expected to see tonight out of the northwest sky. I've been doing a little messing around with the video camera tonight, and besides a beautiful shot of the moon, it's really hard to pick up the stars with such darkness. But I did bring along a friend who has a great still camera and the motivation to catch some of this natural phenomenon on camera.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere trying to find a place with no light so we can film into the northern sky and try to see these meteors somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock this morning.
And if you can't already hear it in his voice, it was cold that night.
22-degree weather.
So trying to be hot on the trail of passing meteorites wasn't exactly comfortable. But when something only happens once a year and it's a clear night, Buddy Jenkins wasn't about to pass up the chance.
Well, I'm an amateur photographer, and then at Christmas time I got a telescope, and I got interested in the stars and the planets and Jupiter and the moon and all that. And then one of my papers I got where I could, it told me that the morning of the January 4th, that this meteor shower is going to be. So I got the bright idea to come out here at 3 o'clock in the morning and see if we could catch some.
After finding some internet instructions as to where to best spot a quadrantid this early morning, Buddy put his camera on a special setting, keeping the shutter open for 30 seconds at a time, and hopefully catching on camera any movement in an otherwise stagnant sky.
So that what I do is leave it on for like 15 minutes to a half an hour at 30-second intervals, and then I can put all them together.
As you can imagine, combining astronomy and photography takes patience and practice, and Buddy is just getting started in this emerging hobby. But after a night of shooting the Delmarva sky, take a look at this. Sure enough, it is mission accomplished, and he's clearly captured a collection of shooting stars. In this case, some of the quadrantid meteors.
Hopefully we'll see some more later on.
You're not cold, are you?
Yes, I am.
Now, Buddy is hoping to find others in the area who share his hobby and share some pictures or techniques. Mostly share the enjoyment of catching something so special on camera, like this distant light show just bright enough to see once in a year, but memorable enough to last a lifetime.
And now it's time to check in with an old friend. Here's this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
With the decline of rockfish continuing for the 10th straight year and last year's disastrous hatch deeply implanted in the minds of both commercial and sports fishermen alike, steps are now being taken by all interested parties to turn this once prosperous fishery around. Today at Cherry Hill Beach in Sharptown, the Maryland Charter Boat Association continued its efforts towards renewing the striper population by releasing 23,000 hatchery-raised fingerlings in the Nanticoke River. Part of 100,000 baby stripers, this organization, in conjunction with the state of Maryland and federal government, plans to release over the next 2 months into this river and the chop tank. Only 2 short months ago, the spawning reaches of 10 Chesapeake Bay rivers were closed by the Department of Natural Resources in hopes of further reducing the decline in the rockfish population by giving them a chance to spawn. We wondered aloud to Tidal Fisheries Director Pete Jensen if he thinks the closure will prove successful.
We're optimistic at this point that at least the number of fish that we saw in the spawning areas is large enough for a successful spawn. And we aren't able to quantify it, but we did fin clip every fish that we handled. And we didn't see but very, very few returns. So we know we weren't simply recapturing the same fish. That makes us optimistic that there is a large spawning population out there.
If Jensen's optimism becomes reality and the survival rate of released fingerlings comes up to expectations, rock fishing could return to its glory days remembered so well just a decade ago. Scorchy Taws, WBOC News.
Some adventures are too good to experience just once. This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
You can see the fish now.
Oh, yeah! Good job, Mike. That's a nice hog there, buddy.
Yes, man.
This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. Back here with our friends again at Shooter's Choice, located on Route 13 in Dover, Delaware. As we've shown you in the past, it's the place to come for all of your hunting and outdoor shooting sports needs. But they've also got you hooked up when it comes to personal protection. Joining us right now, Dave Lawson with Shooter's Choice. Hey,
Mike,
Dave.
Thanks for coming back.
Great to see you. We always love stopping in, seeing what you're up to. Now, let me ask you this. Someone comes into the shop and they ask you about personal protection. What do you tell them?
Well, first we want to find out what their skill level is, whether they've never handled a firearm or whether they're an accomplished gun handler. And then we'll take it from there. We'll take them through if they're basic. We'll take them and recommend some training to them.
All right.
And we can take them from start to finish. Look at the bead way down in there.
All right, so we've gone through some training. You decided to purchase a firearm. Dave, how can you help me?
Well, there's such a variety of guns out there, makes, models, designs, calibers. What we will do is see what fits you best, what grip works for you, what caliber works best for you, and what your need is.
And when it comes to making that selection, they've got all the brand names you recognize: Springfield, Smith & Wesson, Ruger, Sig, Walther.
We've got every make, model, and caliber you can imagine. We can fit you with a firearm.
All right, so we've gone ahead and made that handgun purchase. So Dave, how do we carry it?
Well, Mike, the holsters are specifically designed for the gun that you have. They're set down by design, by model, by caliber. You can see them. They even come in various colors. You've got the brown and the black. You've taken on the responsibility of purchasing a firearm. Please be responsible enough to protect your hearing and your eyes. You only have them once.
Well said. Dave Lawson with Shooter's Choice. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. From answering those questions about personal protection to helping you select the right firearm for you, to protecting that investment along with yourself and your health. Shooter's Choice here on Route 13 in Dover, Delaware. Always on target. We'll be right back.
Still to come on the best of Outdoors Delmarva, your viewer pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Shorts Marine. This is the best of Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, and Shooter's Choice. Now, let's get back to the show.
Time now to take a look at some of the pictures and videos sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers.
And we begin with some viewer Venture Cam video sent in by a friend of the show, Joey Melvin of Milford, Delaware.
That's what I'm talking about.
A few weeks back, Delaware held its youth waterfowl hunt, and Joey hosted a pair of youngsters on a property near Lincoln.
Turns out they did pretty good. Chris Brown from Milford and Cale Betts from Milton combined to shoot a black duck, a mallard, and a pair of blue-winged teal. Great job, guys.
Now on to the pictures. Andrew Truitt of Girdletree, Maryland, took part in this past weekend's youth waterfowl hunt in Maryland. And here he is with his very first wood duck. Congratulations to this young hunter.
David Brickman Jr. from Selbyville caught his first ever mahi-mahi or dolphin recently. But he's not your average hook and line angler. David said he was spearfishing when this good-eating fish came into his sights. And apparently it's a family thing. David's son Cole is a fisherman too and caught this flounder at Indian River.
Mike Amos from Ocean City is seen here showing off an impressive black sea bass. The picture was sent in by Mike's buddy, Lawrence McGowan, who says when the fish are here, Mike knows how to hook them up. And Matt Walls from Ocean View, Delaware, took this shot of a bald eagle. He says this majestic bird was just hanging out in his backyard along the White Creek. Well, we love sharing your viewer pictures and videos here on the show, so please keep them coming. You can email me at mparker@wboc.com or make sure to like us on Facebook and post your pictures right to the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's show, and we want to wish some good luck to all those deer hunters out there.
Yeah, we'll see you there out in the woods. Until next time, for Captain Willie Dykes, I'm Mike Parker reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.